Imagine a world where, well, your everyday actions actually determine your future, not just here, but in these magnificent celestial realms. Picture mansions glowing like the moon or the sun, adorned with jewels, full of divine music, dancing nymphs. It's quite a vivid picture. And it's painted by this ancient text we're diving into today. We're taking a deep dive into excerpts from the Vimānavatthu, which translates pretty literally to stories of celestial mansions, specifically a section called the Pāyāsivagga, part of the ancient Buddhist scriptures. These texts describe encounters between a really revered disciple, Moggallāna.
Right, one of the Buddha's chief disciples,
Yeah.
famous for his psychic powers.
Exactly, and he's meeting these beings living in these glorious celestial homes, these vimanas.
Oh.
So our mission today is really to pull out the fascinating insights from these accounts. We want to uncover what specific deeds, often surprisingly simple things done by ordinary people like you or me, led to such, well, extraordinary heavenly rewards. We'll explore this ancient idea of merit punya and its frankly astonishing results, helping you understand this timeless wisdom, without getting overloaded, just the key takeaways. So our journey starts with the venerable Moggallāna. He's known, as you said, for his spiritual abilities, but also this unique power to travel between realms. And these stories always show him encountering divine beings in these just splendid celestial mansions, these vimanas that glow.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here is Moggallāna's consistent role. It's pivotal. He's like a spiritual investigator, you could say.
Yeah.
He goes right up to these fortunate beings in their radiant homes and asks them directly, look, you've got divine power, this magnificent appearance lighting everything up. What good deed did you do as a human to get this?
So it's a direct question linking cause and effect.
Precisely. It's not just casual chat. It sets up this really clear, profound link between what you did on Earth and the results you get in heaven, so to speak.
Yes.
And the divine beings, they're usually full of joy, and they readily explain the kamas, idafalai,
Which means?
the fruit of their actions. It's a core concept, a direct application of the law of karma. What you sow, you reap. And you'll definitely notice a pattern in these accounts, a structure that really hammers this idea home. First, you get this grand description, the being's radiance, their dazzling mansion, often compared to the god Siddhalata forest or maybe the sun or moon.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Right. Then comes Moggallāna's specific question about their past actions. And finally, the divine being gives this detailed, sometimes quite humble explanation of the good deed they did as a human. Every story, really, in its own vivid way, confirms that these incredible rewards, immense wealth, beauty, all your desires fulfilled, they come directly from actions done in the human world. And crucially, with a pure intention. That's key.
A pure, unblemished intention. That seems important.
It's central. It's a powerful testament to cause and effect, driven by the mind.
Okay, with that framework, let's get into some specifics. A really strong theme, it seems, is the huge impact of, well, simple acts of generosity, especially giving food and drink. It feels like it emphasizes basic human kindness over, massive gestures.
Absolutely. And if you look at the bigger picture, these acts really spotlight the fundamental value placed on just providing sustenance, providing comfort to others, particularly those seen as worthy or maybe those really in need. Take the Agarya Vimāna stories, sections 65 and 66 in the text.
Agarya Vimāna, householder's mansion.
Exactly. The name often reflects the deed. It directly connects the mansion to the householder's hospitality. So here we find two very similar stories. A man and his wife who, back when they were human, made their home like a drinking place for all.
Like an open house, basically.
Pretty much. Offering abundant food and drink, and importantly, with clear, joyful minds, real, sincere generosity, and the reward, a radiant mansion compared to that heavenly Tadasa Siddhalata forest, just sparkling in the sky. What's insightful here, I think, is the idea that this open-handed hospitality isn't just, being nice. It's framed as a profound act of community building.
Right, turning your private home into a public good.
Exactly. Transforming a private space like a drinking place for all suggests this philosophy where your personal resources extend to the community. It feels relevant even now, doesn't it? With shared economies and things.
That's a great point. It's a beautiful image. But was this like a common thing or more of an ideal?
Well, certainly an ideal, but the texts present it as a literal practice for devout people. The key thing, again, was the intention behind it. And it wasn't always about huge feasts for everyone. We see that in other stories.
Yeah.
Think about the Bhikkharyaka, story number 70.
Okay.
Here, a man just saw a thirsty, tired bhikkhu that's a fully ordained Buddhist monk and gave him alms. Specifically, one complete meal for the day.
Just one meal.
Just one meal. And what did that seemingly simple act lead to? A magnificent mansion, jeweled pillars, 12 yojanas high.
12 yojanas. How high is that actually?
Well, yojana is an old unit, maybe 7 to 9 miles. So you're talking nearly 100 miles high.
Wow. Okay, that's colossal. For one meal.
It's an incredible transformation, isn't it? From one simple offering to this towering, luxurious home.
It really challenges our modern view of giving, which can be so transactional. And it gets even more, I guess, touching with the Yavapalaka, the barley herd. Story 71.
Oh, absolutely. This one is so striking because it's so humble yet profound. A barley herd, just an ordinary person, likely not wealthy at all. He sees a bhikkhu, described as pure and serene, and he gives him just a lump of barley meal with his own hands, and again, that phrase, with a clear mind.
It's just a simple offering of what he had.
Exactly. No fancy feast. And now, he rejoices in the Nandana Grove, this celestial garden, living in a similar 12 yojana jeweled mansion. It really drives home the point that the material size, the monetary value of the gift, it's secondary, deeply secondary to the sincerity, the pure intention. It's the heart behind it.
And then we have the Kuchala Vimāna stories, 72 and 73. Do they follow the same pattern with food and drink?
They do, very much so. These two stories tell of men who saw virtuous, learned ascetics, people skilled in knowledge and conduct, and they gave them abundant food and drink, again with clear, joyful minds. The reward, mansions shining like the moon, divine music playing, graceful nymphs dancing, the whole package.
So it's always generosity towards the spiritually pure, given with a clear mind.
That's the consistent thread.
Yeah.
And it leads to these astounding sensory and material rewards in the heavens. What really stands out to me across all these is not just the act itself, but the sincerity, that pasanacita, the clear, joyful mind. And often, yes, the worthiness of the person receiving the gift.
So the intention and the recipient's purity seem to sort of amplify the merit.
That's a great way to put it. They amplify the merit, transforming these simple gestures into magnificent, almost multidimensional rewards. It's like a spiritual ecology. A small, pure seed grows into this vast, abundant garden.
A spiritual ecology. I like that. It makes me wonder, though, what about other kinds of generosity? It can't all be about food and drink, surely.
That's an excellent question. And no, it's not just about sustenance. While food and drink are really prominent, the text definitely broaden the scope to other crucial kinds of support, and each has its own incredible results. Think about the Upāsayadayaka stories, number 68 and 69.
Upāsayadayaka, what does that mean?
Upasaya refers to lodging or shelter. So these are shelter givers. We have two accounts, again, a man and his wife, who provided lodging, a place to stay, for worthy ones, specifically arahants.
Arahants, so enlightened beings.
Exactly, those who've reached liberation. They also gave food and drink. But the shelter is highlighted here. And their mansions, described as shining brilliantly in the sky, one like the moon, the other like the sun in a clear sky.
Wow, powerful imagery. Luminosity, security.
Right, providing a safe, comfortable space for those dedicated to spiritual truth, especially those who've achieved the goal. It's clearly valued incredibly highly. It goes beyond a temporary meal. It's about creating a lasting sanctuary, a place of peace, refuge.
Creating an environment for well-being, for growth?
Right.
Okay. And then there's the Phaladiyaka, the fruit giver, story 67. You mentioned this one has particularly lavish reward.
Oh, it really does.
Oh.
This story maybe pushes the description of rewards further than any other. It's quite something. A celestial being explains that as a human, again of the clear mind, he gave an abundance of fruit, Gaturofale, to upright individuals.
Just fruit.
Just fruit, but given generously and with pure intent. And his reward. A towering mansion, jeweled pillars, 16 yojanas high.
16, even taller than the others.
Even taller. Yeah. And featuring 700 splendid turreted houses inside or around it. Sapphire pillars adorned with gold. Plus, he enjoys constant divine music from skilled musicians, watches divine nymphs dancing and singing. It's non-stop bliss.
Goodness, 700 turreted houses.
I know. And the text even explicitly says, the fruit giver receives abundant fruit by giving. And it encourages giving fruit specifically for happiness, or if you desire divine or human fortune. The sheer scale, 16 yojanas, 700 houses, constant entertainment, it's not just saying you get a reward. It paints this picture of a whole, thriving universe of joy, manifested from a simple, pure act.
It completely reframes the potential of a simple act, doesn't it? That level of detail must be intentional.
Absolutely. They wanted to leave no doubt in the listener's mind about the reality, the sheer magnificence of these results, the specific numbers, the rich material sapphires, gold, the sensory details like music and dance. These aren't vague
They
promises.
make it tangible.
Exactly. They're designed to create a concrete, incredibly desirable vision of what merit, what punya can achieve. It makes the abstract idea of a spiritual reward feel profoundly real, something to aspire to. It urges people to see that their small, pure acts can have immense, almost measurable consequences. It's inspiration through vivid illustration.
Okay, let's look at one final story now, which feels a bit different. The story of Uttara. It seems to shift the focus slightly.
Yes, the Vimāna, story 74. This one adds a really crucial nuance to how we understand generosity. Here, the celestial being Uttara explains that when he was a young man, a Matavo, he was serving a king Pāyāsī, and he received wealth from the king.
Ah, so he didn't earn it directly, he was given it.
Right, and the critical part is what he did next. He shared this wealth. The text says, Savipagga akasi. He made a division, he shared it. And importantly, his companions, the people he shared it with, were virtuous individuals. On top of that, he also gave abundant food and drink with a clear mind, like in the other stories. His reward, a mansion resembling Sudhamma, which is the assembly hall of the gods themselves, plus the divine music and dancing nymphs, of course.
So putting that together, it's not just about earning wealth or creating things yourself. It's also about what you do with resources that come your way, how you distribute them.
Precisely. That's the key point here. It highlights that the act of sharing resources, even wealth you've acquired from others, maybe through work or inheritance or a gift, is a powerful source of merit, especially when shared with virtuous people.
It broadens the definition of a meritorious act.
It really does. It underlines that generosity isn't just limited to what you personally produce or own from the start. It's also about how you manage and distribute whatever comes into your possession. It suggests, perhaps, a deeper ethical dimension to wealth. It's not just about accumulation, but about mindful, compassionate distribution.
Okay, so we've heard about these incredible rewards, shining mansions, divine music, endless joy, all stemming from giving a lump of barley or some fruit or sharing wealth. When you boil it all down, what's the core message these ancient texts are sending us about shaping our future and maybe even our present?
Stepping back and looking at all these stories together, the consistent takeaway, really, is the immense power of dana, intentional generosity, and how it accumulates punya or merit. These aren't just fairy tales, they're deeply motivational narratives. They illustrate a fundamental principle of karma, that wholesome actions, actions rooted in compassion and good intention, inevitably lead to wholesome, positive results.
And it's not about the price tag.
Not at all. Yeah. It's not necessarily about the monetary value or how grand the gesture looks. It's about the sincerity of the giver's mind, that pasanachitta, that clear, joyful, confident heart. And often, yes, the worthiness or the genuine need of the person receiving the gift plays a role too. All those detailed, lavish descriptions of the rewards, the radiant mansions, the divine power, desires constantly fulfilled, they serve a purpose.
To make it real.
To make the abstract concept of merit feel tangible, concrete, and highly desirable. They really encourage living life with generosity and compassion, not just as a duty, but seeing it as a direct path to, well, unimaginable happiness and well-being. What stands out to you in all this? What feels like the core element in this spiritual economy?
For me, it's that range. From householders opening their homes, to a poor barley herd sharing a tiny meal, to providing shelter, giving fruit, even sharing wealth you received. The Pāyāsivagga just offers this rich tapestry showing how all these different acts of generosity done right are believed to lead to these incredible, vividly described celestial rewards. It's a profound reminder, I think, that even the simplest acts, if done with the right intention, the right heart, can have cosmic implications. So here's a final thought to leave you with. If these seemingly simple acts of kindness, performed with that clear and joyful heart, can lead to personal mansions glowing like the sun and moon, filled with music and every possible enjoyment, what untapped potential for profound, positive transformation might lie dormant in the small, mindful acts of generosity we could choose to do in our own lives, right here, right now? Perhaps that celestial mansion isn't just something for the future. Maybe it starts building, brick by spiritual brick with every thoughtful offering we make today, cultivating not just future rewards, perhaps, but a deeper sense of connection and contentment right now.